Breaking news. Attention Minnesota Vikings fans. This just dropped, and it's huge. 3 Vikings players have made it to the list of top 25, pending unrestricted free agents for the 2025 offseason. And the names on this list are a mix of shockers and players who could drastically shape the Vikings' future. This is one you don't want to miss. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with the latest Vikings news. Now let's get into it. We're talking about a new list from ESPN's Matt Bowen and Jeremy Fowler, and 3 key Vikings are among the top 25 free agents to watch heading into the 2025 offseason. So who are they, and what does their future look like in Minnesota? Let's break it down. Sam Darnold, the quarterback situation. Fowler's take. Coach Kevin O'Connell has already pegged J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback of the future for the Vikings. With McCarthy recovering from an injury, it seems like Darnold's time in Minnesota is coming to an end. Fowler says Darnold could still be a valuable bridge quarterback for the Vikings in 2025, but it's highly likely he will sign with another team, especially given the franchise's long-term plans with McCarthy. Our thoughts? Darnold is the only quarterback in the top 25 list, which speaks volumes. His fate will be determined by how he plays in these final games of the season. If Darnold can continue to perform well and lead the Vikings to a playoff spot, he could command a big contract next season, possibly as a starter elsewhere. However, he's also had a few shaky games recently, with 5 interceptions in his last 2 outings, which could hurt his stock. The bottom line? It's tough to see Darnold returning to Minnesota next season. This will likely be J.J. McCarthy's team in 2025. 2. Cameron Bynum, the rising star. Fowler's take. The Vikings have been trying to extend Cameron Bynum, who is positioning himself as a natural successor to Harrison Smith in the secondary. Bynum, who's been a standout with 3 interceptions and 8 passes defended this season, is quickly becoming one of the top safeties in the league. 5 safeties are currently earning over $16 million per year, and Bynum will likely push to be the 6th. The Vikings are reportedly in a good position with Bynum regarding long-term negotiations. Our thoughts? Bynum is a player the Vikings would love to keep around. He's been outstanding in his role as the deep safety in Brian Flores' defense and is a fan favorite in the locker room. However, with his stock rising, the Vikings will have some tough decisions to make. They have the cap space to sign him, but the real question is, how much are they willing to pay? With his solid play this season, Bynum could easily land a big contract elsewhere if Minnesota doesn't step up soon. 3. Cam Robinson, a short-term fix. Fowler's take. Robinson's time with the Vikings seems like a classic audition for other teams. With Christian Darrisaw set to return as the starting left tackle next season, Robinson's role is essentially as a fill-in while Darrisaw recovers. Fowler suggests that if Robinson performs well over the next 2 months, his value could increase significantly in free agency. Our thoughts? Robinson was brought in as a short-term solution for the Vikings' offensive line. Assuming he plays up to his standard, he'll likely be looking at starting opportunities elsewhere as a left tackle. Minnesota already has Darrisaw in place, and while Robinson might add depth or even fill in as a guard, it seems unlikely the Vikings would re-sign him unless he's willing to take a backup or bridge role. It's probably safe to say Robinson's future in Minnesota is short-lived, with other teams likely eyeing him as a starter. Other notable Vikings free agents. Aaron Jones, running back. Byron Murphy Jr., cornerback. Stephon Gilmore, cornerback. Pat Jones II, edge rusher. Shaq Griffin, cornerback. Jerry Tillery, defensive tackle. Jonathan Bullard, defensive tackle. Dalton Reisner, offensive line. So, Vikings Nation, here's the big question. What do you think? Should the Vikings prioritize keeping Cameron Bynum and let Sam Darnold walk? Or do you think Darnold still has a place in the team for 2025? And what about Cam Robinson? Should the Vikings try to keep him around? Or is he just a temporary fix? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And remember, subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single update. This offseason is going to be critical for the future of the Vikings, and we'll be here with all the latest news as it breaks.